Welcome to Victory Over Chaos, the faith-based fitness channel. And today, once again, we are going to be focusing on the faith aspect, and it's going to be actually part 2. And I'm Blaine Lane.
And I'm Derek Brown.
Yes.
And the other video is the one that we began on with Nehemiah, the first 3 attacks from the enemy.
You can watch it up here. There's a link. It's right there.
So yes, this is part 2 to the first video where we were discussing Nehemiah and the 3 attacks that he was experiencing from the enemy, the first 3 of the 7 attacks. In this video, we're going to cover the next 4.
If you want to go back and recapture what his first 3 attacks were, we're going to actually post a link here in the description where you guys can go to that. Or, up here, there's a link above that you can actually go to and watch the first video. The 4th attack he actually experiences, he's in the process of building the wall when the 4th attack comes, and it is
Financial.
Ooh, that's a big one. I think we've all experienced a little bit of financial attack from time to time. And he experiences and from not just himself, but it's more for those he's working with. I think that seems to be like an ongoing issue. You got people working like, well, I would help you, but I really need to, I've got all these debts. And that's what they come with him is like, Nehemiah, we can't build your wall anymore because if we're busy building this wall, we can't pay our debts. Mm-hmm. Now, this is kind of cool in Jewish tradition is the year of Jubilees, actually, whatever debt was owed, whatever land had been taken, it actually reverts back to the original owner in the year of Jubilee, which is going to be every 50 years, 7 sevens, and then the 50th year, it goes back to the original owners and everything restarts. So then he goes actually to the debt collectors and he says, hey guys, you guys are going to have to come a break early. We're building this wall. This is really important. If we don't get this wall built, we're going to be under attack. It's really significant that we get this done. And they look at him and miraculously, they're just like, you know what, Nehemiah, you're right. We're going to clear the debt. They don't have to worry about it. And everybody who is, and I think that's really cool when God's favor is on something, it not only affects you as a leader, but it has like the trickle down.
It affects the people around you.
Yes.
It does.
So, and that's exactly what happened is suddenly Nehemiah, the whole wall is paid for, and then they are financially blessed in the process.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of embodiment of it's more blessed to give than to receive too.
Yeah.
Giving to this cause of God's call.
Yeah, and he took care of them.
Yeah. Their debt was erased.
Let's go and move on to the next thing. The next attack actually comes back from the outside again. When the enemy realizes that they can't get you to stop with your vision, they can't get you to building your wall of vision, whatever it is, then they take the next step, and that's they try to get you to compromise your vision.
Well, you say it's from the outside, but technically, do you think compromising would be from the inside?
It could possibly.
Well, because who's the one making the compromise?
You are. It's your decision at the end of the day. Exactly. You have to decide, are you going to compromise or are you not?
Exactly.
So the attempt comes most of the time from the outside.
Right.
The enemy gets you to compromise, but at the end of the day, you're right. It's your decision.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to Nehemiah. The enemy sends a message, says, hey, meet me at this spot out here. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you're doing. Let's come to some kind of agreement. And Nehemiah says, ain't nobody got time for that.
It's either I'm going to go big or I'm going to go home.
Yep.
I'm going to do this God's way or I'm not going to do this at all.
And exactly. And he says, you know what? I know what God's already told me to do. I don't have to meet you out here in the middle of nowhere to explain to you what I already know I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. This is going to only take me away from what I know I need to be doing.
Exactly.
Don't compromise. Stick to your guns.
Okay, so the next one, the 6th attack that you'll experience from the enemy, also I would say is an outside attack on this one.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Slander. Yep. Kind of a big word, but backbiting, talking bad about, smearing your name.
Yeah, it goes beyond, we mentioned mockery earlier, but this one is actually it's not just making fun of you, but it becomes more lies about
lying about you.
Lying about who you are.
He's got ulterior motives for the reason that he's doing this. Mm-hmm. He's not trying to glorify God. He's wanting something out of this. Or he's doing this for another reason. This is not what he says it is.
So they begin to slander and almost try to ruin who you are and your image. And they just throw all these lies about who you are. What most theologians believe is that actually Nehemiah came through the tribe of Judah. Tribe of Judah is the king's lineage. And so what the enemy did is they try to say Nehemiah is trying to build this wall because he's wanting to declare himself as the king of Jerusalem, which is a believable lie, but is in no way, shape, or form the truth.
Exactly. That's definitely an attack of the enemy there, because what is the enemy? The father of lies.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good lie.
It's a good lie. He's good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like that game where you play two truths and a lie. He's going to tell more than one lie to make this lie even more believable.
Oh wow, that's good.
You know, he's gonna try to deceive and to lie and to trick. Like I said earlier, he has ulterior motives for why he's doing this. This isn't out of the purity of his calling from God.
Right.
This isn't God telling him to do this. He's doing this for a reason.
His own selfish ambition to become the king.
Exactly. So applying this to you, whatever you're trying, whatever God, has called you to do, expect some slander, because we live in the real world, and I don't want to sound mean or harsh, but people are going to think if you're doing something good nowadays, you've got ulterior motives for that.
We don't want to be discouraging toward your vision. Oh gosh, I have to suffer all this. No, we are trying to give you the battle plan of the enemy to help you prepare, because whether once you accept this and whether you don't, if God has called you to do this,
I encourage you to accept it.
Please accept it.
First off, because the benefits are far going to outweigh the attacks that you'll have to go through.
Absolutely. And you may suffer these, go through these attacks in this battle, but you're always going to win. If God has really called you to this, you don't have to have the fear of failure. If God is really called, and that's where you need to ask yourself those questions from earlier in the first video.
In the first video, yeah. Kind of close off on that point though, for I reckon that the present sufferings are nothing to be compared to the glory that will be revealed in us. So kind of go hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
Just to throw a little scripture at you there.
All right, moving on. So let's go to the very last and final attack that the enemy will throw at you. And this one is the worst attack.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think this one is the one that's going to rip your heart out. It is betrayal.
Ooh.
And betrayal can only happen to someone that's close to you.
Mm-hmm. Happen from someone that's close to you, from your inner circle.
Someone. Yep, from your inner circle. That is definitely the fatality.
Well, that's the enemy's final try
to really break you down and get you to give up.
So you've already withstood all these other attacks. You've withstood the slander, you've withstood the financial crisis you went through, and just when you think you can't take any more, the straw that broke the camel's back, you got to face a betrayal. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
And it's so hard. Do you find when those moments happen, the scripture, even when you're prepared for it, I don't think it takes away any of the hurt. It doesn't. It helps you know, okay, well, yeah, I know I was supposed to expect this, but it doesn't, there's a certain part, and I think that's where it's like, sometimes you just fall down on your knees and cry out, why God, in that moment. But
Well, this goes back to hand in hand. You can't rely on your own strength. You got to, at that point, especially.
And sometimes that's the only thing that can. I
don't want to sound like the enemy's doing something good, but the enemy's kind of helping you in this instance. Really, you get to that point. You can't rely on your own strength anymore because you have none left.
And then that's when God takes over, and that's when
you get to the end of you.
And I think that scripture from Philippians, when the peace that surpasses all knowledge, and I think it's really important that a lot of people leave out, is with thanksgiving. And that's the hardest thing to do, is thanking the Lord
for trials.
For a trial and a season, and it's just something that really just sucks, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not always the best about that.
What helps me is my strength, is not my strength, but the strength of Christ. When people can look at you and they know the situations you're going through, they know how sucky of a situation it is, that those days when you can smile. I'm not saying it's always like that.
Well, not even necessarily that, but they see that your faith doesn't go away.
Yeah, I think that's
the cornerstone.
You're right.
I mean, they're still going to see you sad and depressed.
Yeah, they're going to see those moments.
Broken down, at points in your life, in those trials and those attacks from the enemy. But they see that your faith doesn't waver. You still have that faith in God.
Right, because in fact, what they don't realize, he's the one is
carrying you through it.
Yeah. I really hope this devotion and this kind of sharing this faith is not necessarily fitness, but it is for your well-being.
No, this is definitely fitness.
Oh yeah,
for
definitely.
The spiritual man.
Yes, and we talked about the triangle earlier. The spiritual is going to be the foundation, the pyramid.
Think about like a food pyramid. The spiritual is the bottom, the base, the true source of strength. The next layer will be the mind, the mental, and then the top layer, which is, the smallest part, is the physical.
So I hope you all were encouraged. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different than what we usually do, but with our backgrounds and everything, and really what Victory Over Chaos
is all about.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, just as much as we want to train you in the physical man and show you how to, strengthen that one, more importantly, I think even, and we apologize for not bringing more of these sooner, really.
Yeah.
But we want to help you and share with you our knowledge from what Christ has taught us.
Yeah. Well, a lot of lessons.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't all fun.
School of hard knocks. So hopefully this was able to help you out. These 4 tips in this video, as well as the first 3, talking about the attacks that you'll experience from the enemy when God calls you to do something.
Yeah, the vision He gives you. So and make sure it is from Him.
Yes.
Throw that out there.
Absolutely.
So, all right, and let's sign off with this. God bless you all. Oh, that's right. We say that. God bless. God bless everyone.
Okay, Tiny Tim.
No, but seriously, yeah.
Tiny for sure.
My T-Rex arms.
Yes.
Shirt coming at you soon.
So guys, be sure that if you like what you saw today in our video, make sure to click the like button. Also, another thing to really help us out and to help you out hopefully as well, click the subscribe button so you can see our videos and so that you can be notified of future posts. Be sure to click the bell icon as well so that you'll be notified, of course, when we make future posts.
I'm really good at nodding my head when you say all that. Yes. And let me see.
He's a reinforcer. What's your part of this closeout, Blaine?
Oh yeah, but you can join us on social media in Facebook, Instagram, all those.
Twitter.
And Twitter.
Do we have a Twitter?
We have a Twitter.
Oh, we've just been informed, ladies and gentlemen, that we have a Twitter.
You can join us in conversation on Twitter now.
Yes, you can. So, do that.
And all the links are in the description below.
Hard work till they put me in the dirt. So you're gonna learn. You get what you deserve.